Thank you for tuning in to Hockey East All Access. I'm Elizabeth Thomas. Today we are here on the campus of Merrimack College, where we got to speak to sophomore forward Hampus Gustafson.
Playing in college hockey was always an aspiration, set at a young age for Gustafson.
I started back my career in Sweden. I always wanted to play college hockey, so that was the route I knew I wanted to take. So I looked into different options when I was my senior year in high school, and I ended up over here, and then I played in juniors and I got recruited here. It's just a great place to play hockey. I watched some games before I committed, and the atmosphere here is just great, and I really like the way they play the game, and I heard a lot of good stuff about the coaching staff and the program. So.
Well, speaking of the coaching staff, your coach, head coach Mark Dennehy, is one of the most revered college coaches in Hockey East. What's it like playing under him? Describe that to me.
It's great. He has a lot of attention to detail, and that's what he talks about all the time. And it's a hard-working program, so we know what to expect when we come to the rink or the weight room. You're just expected to just give it your all, and even if you make mistakes, make sure it's hard mistakes, and that you're aggressive, and that you don't just lean back and not do what you're supposed to do.
With a dismal 8-22-3 record that would dishearten any player in their first season, Gustafson has an unyielding faith in his team and couldn't be more optimistic about his sophomore season.
The best thing is that you always start every year with a clean slate. So this year we're 3-0 so far. And it's just, we have 10 new freshmen this year, so we're a totally new group of players, so we're a different team this year. And it just feels different, the atmosphere in the locker room, and we don't get frustrated because we just stick to the process, and we know that we got each other, and if we just do what we're supposed to do, the end result is going to come.
Is that something that Dennehy instills in all of you, that work ethic, like you're saying? It's kind of like the underdog mentality, right, from last season, kind of playing over into now?
A little bit. I think more it's the media that puts us as the underdogs. I think we don't really feel like other teams are better than us, because we know that if we play the way we're supposed to do, we have a great opportunity to win, and we can compete against every other college team out there. But yeah, that's one of his biggest things is just to work hard. Just be prepared to work hard every day. Every time teams come into this rink, they know that they're in for something, and they have to fight for every inch out there. We have a lot of skilled guys on the team, but so does every other team in Hockey East. We just want to work hard and grind opponents down, because we don't want to give them anything out there.
What's the biggest contributing factor you believe to your team right now that'll lead you to success?
I think it's that we simplified a lot of things from last year. We ran a lot of different systems and forechecks depending on different situations in the game, and this time we're just trying to simplify a little bit more and try to play our game and not focus too much on the opponents, because we know that it all comes down to what we do, and just also giving us a little bit more freedom to just make plays and not be that focused to just do something, because it's hockey and it changes, and you just have to read the game and make plays, and we have a little bit more freedom this year and just simplifying the game.
After playing on opposing teams for most of their lives, neither brother ever thought that the small college of Merrimack would finally bring them to play on the same line, let alone the same team. Hailing from the small town of Ljungby, Sweden, both brothers found the transition to Merrimack seamless.
So did you always grow up playing hockey? I know that's a huge sport over in Sweden. Is that just something you always wanted to do, or who got you started in that?
It was my brother. He was really big into hockey. And since he's older than me and he played, I kind of just followed in his footsteps. And then hockey just kept growing on me. And I knew I also wanted to combine it with a college education. So going to Merrimack is just a dream for me, actually. So to be able to compare playing hockey and get an education, it's perfect.
I get a lot of advice from my two coaches in Amarillo, and they said Merrimack is a real good program and the coaching staff is really good. And they told me about Hockey East, and that's one of the top leagues in the college system. So I just found it really fun to like get the chance to be able to come up here and play.
What was your fondest memory with growing up, getting to play with your brother or against your brother?
I remember very clearly, and that was the one time we actually beat them. It was at home and we won 4-0, and I think we were up at 4-0 at the time, and he had an open net, and I hooked him, and it was clearly a hooking penalty, and he fell, and then...
Was he trying to embellish?
I thought so at the time, so I actually went to the ref and did this and said that he was diving, but the ref didn't buy it, so I just had to sit down for 2 minutes, but that's something that was, I just remember that and think it's funny.
I think the best one against him was when we played back in my old hometown, and I had a breakaway, and he back-checked and he hooked me from behind, and I fell, and he thought it was a dive, so he signaled like this to the referee, but he got a penalty for it, but I didn't get a penalty shot.
Gustafson not only understands the rigors of Merrimack's road to redemption this season, but embraces it. He takes pride in the team's hard work ethic and realizes that at the end of the day, it's simplifying the game that will lead the Warriors into a winning season.